Well, God, I guess you're my best friend, being I invented you.
You believe in God, Charlie?
Sure, I believe in myself. Why wouldn't I? Which one?
Are you Jesus Christ?
Which Jesus? There's all kinds of Jesuses. There's a black Jesus down in Florida. He's having a good time. There's a Mexican Jesus in Mexico. I mean, there's all kinds of there's a Jewish Jesus. I mean, Jesus, you know. There's all kinds of Jesus coming back everywhere. And nothing can stop it. It's a consciousness that lives in your mind.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweigh the dangers which are cited to justify it.
Illuminati, you've come to take control. You can take my heartbeat, but you can break my soul.
Folks, let me make this real simple. I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but there were people telling you, screaming at you in 2008, 2009, that this man is a fucking enemy of America. He fucking faked his birth certificate. He faked his college documents. He put a freeze on his college documents. You can't even fucking look at them. The shit with the birth certificate. I mean, all of his fucking documents, where he was born. How about the fucking guy admits he's fucking Muslim, but he says he's Christian. He swears on the word of God when he says he's for Allah. That little fucking ring he's wearing says praise Allah. I don't know if you know that. They've done videos on it. If you didn't notice, the fucking guy doesn't wear an American flag pin on his damn jacket like every fucking president does. This man is a Muslim Brotherhood. Let me put it real fucking simple. This is the head of ISIS. Have you ever noticed why he will not call them ISIS? He calls them ISIL. Do you know why? Because that's their real name. Either that, or it's a fake name, and ISIS is just given the name because it's to put fear or to discredit other people. That's it. I mean, give me a fucking break. Islamic State in Syria? Islamic State in Libya? Islamic State Iraq and Syria? Fucking ISIS. Come on. You gonna let them pull a fucking easy one like that over you? Come on, ISIS. You know who ISIS is. Even if you don't know religion, you gotta fucking know who ISIS is. It was a fucking goddess. I went through this in a video almost over a year ago. ISIS is a fucking Egyptian goddess. I mean, folks, I've fucking been through this. How is this fucking man not arrested yet? The country's been taken over. Do you remember fucking terrorists saying, soon ISIS will have your White House, or we'll be in the White House? They weren't fucking kidding. Hello, they're in the White House. They're like, we'll be flying our flag at the White House. Well, they're not really doing that yet. That would be too fucking obvious. But the man speaks perfect Muslim. If you know anything about languages, when he's speaking American and goes into Arabic, it's hard for him to do. It's hard for him to make that transition. When he's speaking Arabic and goes back to English, you can hear the Arabic dialect still with him, with his tongue, when he starts speaking English again. If you know about language, you'll see what I mean. And I hope everyone else catches on to it. I'm not going to play this whole video. I'm just going to play certain parts to give you a fucking idea. But I mean, you should be able to get the fucking message in about 30 seconds since it's coming out of his mouth. Pay attention. You could find this video very easily. Just type in Obama speaks perfect Arabic.
Assalamu alaikum. Many other Americans have Muslims in their families or have lived in a Muslim majority country. I know because I am one of them. But my father came from a Kenyan family that includes generations of Muslims. As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn. But I have known Islam on 3 continents before coming to the region where it was first revealed. That experience guides my conviction. You are absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith.
In a 2007 interview with New York Times, Obama recited the Muslim call to prayer in a perfect Arabic accent and then went on to say that the Muslim call to prayer was the prettiest sound on earth. That destroys him right there, less than a fucking minute. Why? Why? Why is he still in office?
As the Holy Quran tells us, the Holy Quran teaches that, the Holy Quran tells us.
Listen to how he says Quran. Only fucking Muslims say Quran like that. Are you fucking hearing me, sheeple?
And the Holy Quran also says, we will convey our deep appreciation for the Islamic faith, which has done so much over the centuries to shape the world. I would like to speak directly to the people and leaders of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Their great and celebrated culture. Over many centuries, your art, your music, literature, and innovation have made the world a better and more beautiful place. We know that you are...
Can you tell me when the last time Iran did fucking anything for this planet? Tell me when. What innovations have they created?
Great civilization, and your accomplishments have earned the respect of the United States and the world. I also know civilization's debt to Islam. It was Islam at places like Uluzar that carried the light of learning through so many centuries, paving the way for Europe's Renaissance and Enlightenment. It was it.
Okay, he just told you that Islam is the reason why the West became great. Hello? And to give you a fucking clue, folks, Islam is not a religion. All these fucking people do is kill and kill and torture and kill. That's it for now. God bless and carry on.
For over 1,000 years, Uluzar has stood as a beacon of Islamic determination to kill on a massive scale. Make no mistake that America is at war with Islam. We will relentlessly confront Islam. Their actions are irreconcilable with the rights of human beings. The Holy Quran teaches the killing of innocent men, women, and children. These are not opinions to be debated. These are facts to be dealt with. They have affiliates in many countries and are trying to expand their reach. And that's why we're partnering with a coalition of 46 countries. And despite the costs involved, America's commitment will not weaken. Indeed, none of us should tolerate Islam. They have killed in many countries. They have killed people of different faiths. The people of the world can live together in peace without Islam. Thank you. And may God's peace be upon you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is huge, and it's unprecedented, and it's going to change the very cultural fabric of the entire continent. There's a clip I showed on my blog this morning, lamarzulli.wordpress.com. I'm just going to read what this says. This is what this guy, this Islamist in Germany. Islam is coming to take over Germany whether you want it or not. Not through war, but the fact that Germans don't reproduce and Muslims have 7 to 8 children each. Absolutely true. But not only that, your daughters will marry bearded Muslims and wear the hijab. Their sons will wear a beard. The Muslims will have 4 wives and 27 children. And what does the German man have? 1 child and maybe a little pet dog. The German has taken advantage of the Muslim for too long, just so he can drive his Mercedes. Now Islam is coming and your daughters will wear the hijab. I can see the look of hate in your eyes. What people don't understand, and we need to begin to raise our voices against it, Islam is not a religion. Islam is a fascist ideology. And what it seeks to do in any country that it rests in is to dominate the culture and the people and insist on their way of life. They do not want to assimilate, and you can see it in all the demonstrations that you have in your neck of the woods, specifically in the UK and all throughout Europe. If you are a Jew and you walk through a Muslim neighborhood, or if you have a car with a Israel sticker on it, guaranteed your car will be totally destroyed in any of the countries in Europe if you leave it in a Muslim section. This is what we're looking at, and it's coming over here. And the fact that 1 million Muslims are marching through Europe is basically an invasion force. And people are beginning to wake up and understand what they are facing. And now we discover that many of these so-called refugees have vanished into thin air. So now we don't know where they are. All I can tell you is in this country, we are so politically correct and so stupid the last 8 years under the guy that we have in the White House, that when Major Hassan took his weapon and walked into an army hospital, and all these people were there that were unarmed, and killed 13 people, including a pregnant woman who pleaded with Hassan not to kill her baby, just cut her down in cold blood, yelling, Allahu Akbar, the whole time. God is great. He performed a jihad, and yet our government under this president refused to call that terrorism. Instead, they call it workplace violence. Nonsense. Nonsense. And we need to come to grips as a world that what we are dealing with is Islamofascism, which is incredibly dangerous to everyone who wants freedom. The freedom that we know, the freedom that we love, the freedom, the jurisprudence of what our country here in the United States, our Constitution, Sharia law is exactly the opposite of our Constitution. And people need to wake up. In Egypt, when Morsi was elected, okay, and I'm going somewhere with this. When Morsi was elected at a soccer game, at the intermission of a soccer game, they unfurled at halftime this huge banner, "One Nation under a New Holocaust." I'm not making this up. So how do you sit down with people like this that pose an existential threat to you, to your children, to everything that you stand for? You can't. And that's what people don't understand, that Israel was surrounded by nations who pose a direct existential threat. Netanyahu gets it. Now we've got the Ruskies under Tsar Vladimir coming down into the Middle East, meddling. Syria, Damascus. There's another ancient prophecy. Damascus, Isaiah 17, will become a ruinous heap. I've got pictures on my blog of a Russian drone that flew over parts of Damascus. It is absolutely reduced to rubble.
Oh, no, I've seen that.
There's nothing left. It's reduced to rubble.
Yes, it is.
And all this ties back into the biblical prophetic narrative that warns us this is exactly what we're going to see in the latter days. There's a prophecy that says Jerusalem will become a burdensome stone to the whole world. No one gave a rip about Jerusalem. You go back 100 years, no one could care about it. I mean, I've got pictures from 100 years ago. There's nobody there. It's a wasteland. There's no trees. The whole place has been denuded. That's what the Turks did. There's nothing. It's a wasteland. Swamps and marshes. That's all you got. Swamps, marshes, and deserts. That's it. And this trickle of Jews come back in. It's their land. It's always been their land. And in the fulfillment of prophecy, 1948, Israel becomes a nation, absolutely unprecedented, which sets off the biblical prophetic clock. And that thing's been ticking.